Last year, Xiaomi released one of my favorite phones of all time, the Xiaomi 13 Pro, and it's been my companion on most of the trips that I've taken, actually all since I had it. But when it comes to the Xiaomi 13 Pro, the question is how has it held up? And yes, this probably will be sadly my last video on the Xiaomi 13 Pro because it went for the funding on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. Oh, I'm gonna miss that one. But we get the Xiaomi 14 Ultra instead, and I have really good plans with it, so be sure to stay tuned for that, because I have some storybook and everything planned for the video itself. Anyway, let's dive into the video and showcase how the Xiaomi 13 Pro has held up. Now let's quickly recap the specifications. It comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 8 to 12 GB of RAM, and mine had 12 GB of it. Then in terms of memory, mine had 512 GB of UFS 4.0. which sadly you couldn't expand via microSD. The display is a 6.73 inch AMOLED panel with a peak brightness of 1900 nits. Now for the camera, that setup I really loved, in collaboration with Leica of course. When it comes to the main camera, we get a 50.3 megapixel sensor and an f-stop of 1.9 and 23mm equivalent. Of course, I do hope that we get more towards the 30mm and less wide, but that's what we have on the Xiaomi 13 Pro. And of course this is the 1-inch sensor. We get a 50 megapixel telephoto with an f-stop of 2.0 and 75mm equivalent. A 50 megapixel ultra wide with an f-stop of 2.2 and of course 14mm equivalent. Still better hardware that Samsung currently offers on their Ultra. With video recording you can go up to max 8K and 24 frames per second, and it does support 10-bit lock as well. For the front-facing camera, it's a 32 megapixel sensor with a 1/3.14 inch sensor size and limited to 1080p in terms of video recording. Now let's discuss how this phone held up so well, but also what I really enjoyed about it in the past year. Now for those who are new to this channel, for me photography has always been hand in hand with exploring new situations, new cities, new nature spots and more. And with that I want a phone that I can rely on and I can capture the shots the best way possible. Now while I have a very good full frame camera, the Lumix S5, that will easily outperform any smartphone by a mile, the Xiaomi 13 Pro is a phone that I always have with me. The camera performance has been really solid, but not only that, in terms of performance I could rely on it, and that's really important for me. This comes down to not just the natural result and great contrast, but also having the possibility to play around with the styles, though I will say I missed the film style that was gone after some updates. But of course, you do have your Leica black and white, your sepia and so many more styles that makes it fit for every single moment. It captured moments of happiness and sadly also memories of joy that lasted too short. But in every of these moments, the Xiaomi 13 has been very reliable in terms of partner for these trips, including the trips that I've been going through lately. For instance, Switzerland. Look at the pictures that I've taken on this phone. The shots I get back from the Xiaomi 13 Pro were incredible, and they still are. It holds its own easily against the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra as well when you compare to it. Heck, it easily beats it. And while showcasing the results, it's pretty obvious how this phone has held up, how the Xiaomi 13 Pro is still an excellent phone, even more so in terms of camera performance. And of course, I can still easily recommend it these days. And if you love photography, explore with the phone, play around with it, play with the styles and have fun, because I know you will. So at the end, is the Xiaomi 13 Pro still worth it? It would be stupid to say if it wasn't. I always say that if you look for a new phone, you might as well also put in last year's flagship, because those go down in price, and therefore you can get a really solid deal on a phone that is a little bit older. And that's why I do these kind of videos, looking back at older phones and showcase how it has held up in these days, how it still performs, and especially compared to phones that are new, like for instance the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra that I compared the Xiaomi 13 Pro to. And yes, the Xiaomi 13 Pro easily beats that phone apart from video recording. Having the possibility to quickly switch between those different focal lengths is definitely better on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, but apart from that, the Xiaomi 13 Pro is a phone that easily holds its own, especially against the likes of Samsung. It goes for a really natural approach, good contrast, and general feel is really good when it comes to the Xiaomi 13 Pro. Yes, I have a better camera in this full frame, but when it comes to a phone having the capabilities to capture beautiful shots with a phone, the Xiaomi 13 Pro is really solid, and I think next year it will still be the same. Even when you compare it to devices that are new, I think the Xiaomi 13 Pro will still hold its own really well. And during this year that I've been using it, I've taken around 10,000 pictures with the phone itself. I focus less on video, but during this time, having taken that many pictures is quite a good showcase on how much I like the phone itself. It inspires me to go on trips and take pictures with it, and not always thinking I need to have my full camera with me. Would I want to? Yes, but sometimes, I have several phones with me and then it becomes a little bit bothersome to switch between so many different devices to take pictures. But when it comes to the Xiaomi 13 Pro, it's been excellent, it's still excellent, and I really love, for instance, the floating lens technology that we will get on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. That floating lens has been excellent. You can create some amazing shots with it, with some natural looking depth of field. Is it the best in separation of subjects? Not necessarily. There are some cases where I can tell it's not the greatest at that, but at the end, when I get pictures like flowers and portraits, there are shots that look so good with the Xiaomi 13 Pro, and therefore I would easily say this is still worth it. Either way, I want to thank everyone also for watching last month. It's been crazy. A lot of sub gains. I think almost 1,000 sub gained in around the last 28 days, which is crazy. And I really want to say thank you for that. I appreciate it. It allows me to go for these trips, and it allows me to showcase, of course, the camera as well. And the more subs I gain, the more potential I get to test other devices out as well. Be it via buying it, because of course you get more revenue in, or be it via getting it sent. So for me, thank you very much for viewing my videos, and I do really hope that you enjoy it. And if you have feedback, let me know. I'll try to improve what I do in my videos. The biggest thing is portraits are a little bit of a struggle because you need to speak to people to take portraits. So there you go, and I'm an introvert, but that's beside the point. I will try to get on that and get some pictures that showcase that as well, because I know that's important as well. Either way, hope you enjoyed, have a good one, and talk to you guys in the next, which is maybe the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, depending on how long it takes to get delivered. Oh, I cannot wait to have fun. Have a good one.